sustainable idea was probably imprinted in me in Holland. There was a lot of work in the late 70s, early 80s going on at schools around recycling and using sustainable materials, and my parents were really into the environment. So it's probably been with me forever. The first time I thought about the idea of growing food where we live, turning our buildings into veggie patches, I was 12 or 13 years old. And this is an example of what I hope a house in 2040 will look like. It's a completely closed system, mimicking an ecosystem where one element becomes a food source for another. I think the world sees waste. It's out of mind, out of sight. We just generate it, but it doesn't need to exist. It's only we humans that generate waste. So my philosophy is simple. We've designed it into our lives, we need to design it out. For my kids, it's second nature. You know, we live and breathe this stuff. And I'm hoping that I instill the same passion for hard work and achieving what you want to achieve, but also appreciate nature and how incredible the natural world is. Matt and I connected about 10 years ago, and I just said to him, I want to use all these ways of avoiding waste, use the freshest possible ingredients and grow as much as we can on the roof, and support farmers to celebrate biodiversity. It just made sense to him as well. And it's pretty hard to not connect with Jo. She is very passionate about the environment. She's very passionate about doing things correctly. I mean, the three of us work really well together, and none of us is scared to say what we think. Innovation is key. You know, we're using solar power to run all this incredible equipment. So it's important that we use the most efficient appliances that you can possibly use. The beauty about using this technology is that during the day when we've got excess power, we can set it so that we can dry our clothes, we can do washing, we can even cook remotely with this oven and start to have stuff cooking when we've got excess power. And so it's a bit like farming. You're working with the environment, with nature. Anyone that grows their own food knows that no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try and time it, you always have a surplus. And we rely on a fridge to be able to keep things fresh. The amazing thing about the Miele fridge is that it keeps food so much fresher because it maintains the right humidity and the right temperature. And even after 5 days, you'll find that food is still exactly as fresh as what it was when you put it in. Without doubt, the kitchen is my favorite part of this house, because you open the window and you're straight in the garden. You know, so the idea that you live in an ecosystem is really at the heart of what this building is. And I think there's nothing more powerful than a living, breathing example of a house that can grow its own food. I don't like to talk about doing stuff, I like doing stuff. And that's how I've done it for the last 25 years. I've built examples of what I believe the future can be.